finish today's activities, we're going to STEAM section on page 151. Okay? We've been talking about the solar system and its planets. We actually built a model, right, to know where each of the planet was located. So now we're going to talk about specific concepts such as orbits, okay? We have an audio as a support, so I will play it for you and I will ask you to follow the text at home. I will be highlighting the text so that you can follow it better, but I need you to underline or to highlight the most important information, okay? Ready? So, here we go.
Orbits. Read and listen to the following text. Did you know that nothing can travel in a straight line in outer space? Everything must travel in an arc. An arc is a curved line or path. This means that when a spaceship goes to the moon or any other planet, it must travel in an arc to get there. It can't travel in a straight line.
Okay, let's make a pause. So, that means that if we were on a rocket over here, imagine that I have a rocket over here traveling to the moon, we cannot travel in a straight line. We have to travel in an arc. What does that mean? To do this, okay? Because the shape of the orbits and the spaceship. Okay? Let's continue reading to see or to understand better why should we be traveling in an arc form, okay?
Why does everything travel in an arc in outer space? It's because of gravity. Gravity is the force that pulls objects all together. When a rocket leaves Earth, the rocket is pulled toward Earth. Once it gets far enough away from Earth, it is pulled toward the Sun. As the rocket travels close to the Moon, or a planet, gravity pulls the rocket toward the Moon or planet. Do you remember the Activate Your Brain activity on page 147? When you threw the paper, it traveled in an arc. This was because Earth's gravity pulled it down.
So it's like if the planets, in this case the Earth or the Moon or the Sun, like if they have a magnet inside that is pulling the objects towards it, okay? So if the rocket travels next to the Moon, it will be attracted by the Moon. If it travels around the Earth, it will be pulled directly to the Earth, and the same with another planets or figures. Okay, let's continue.
An arc is a part of an object's orbit. An orbit is the curved path an object takes around a larger object. All objects in space orbit something. The Moon orbits the Earth, and the Earth orbits the Sun. Orbits look like a circle or an oval. An oval is just a stretched circle. When an object is in an orbit, it is constantly being pulled to the center of its orbit by gravity. It doesn't hit the thing it is orbiting because it is moving too fast.
Okay, so if we listen carefully, that means that an orbit can have a circle shape or an oval shape, like this, okay? The Moon is traveling around the Earth in this shape, like if it was doing this, and the same thing the Earth is doing around the Sun and the rest of the planets, like the image shows, okay? So these are called orbits. Do all the planets orbit the Sun? I think I gave you the answer, right? Let's move on to the next page to talk about the solar system. Ready? I'm playing the audio and please try to follow the text. Highlight the ideas that you think are really important to remember.
The solar system. Read and listen to the following text. We all live on Earth. Earth is one of the 8 planets that orbit the Sun. The Sun is the closest star to Earth and the center of the solar system. The solar system consists of the Sun, 8 planets, and numerous other satellites of rock and ice that orbit the Sun. The Sun is the largest, most massive thing in the solar system. Since it is the most massive, it has the most gravity, and everything in the solar system orbits it. This is why the solar system looks like a point with objects traveling in circles around it. The solar system is in the Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way has about 300 billion stars. Everything in the Milky Way also orbits a central point with the most mass and the strongest gravity. This is why the Milky Way looks like a spiral. The solar system and Milky Way are massive. It is hard to understand the scale of the solar system since it is so large. The solar system is billions of kilometers across, so we use a different unit for distance, the AU. AU stands for astronomical unit. 1 AU is the distance between the Sun and the Earth, or about 150 million kilometers.
Do you remember that we use these toilet paper sheets to represent this unit? This is what it means, okay? Let's continue.
The closest planet to the Sun, Mercury, is about 0.5 AU from the Sun. Neptune, the farthest planet from the Sun, is about 30 AU from the Sun. There are small pieces of rock and ice that are hundreds to thousands of AUs away. The solar system is huge. If the Sun were the size of a basketball, Earth would be the size of the letter E on this page. The E, Earth, would be 26 meters away from the basketball, Sun. That's the same distance as 2 school buses. In other words, Earth is tiny compared to the Sun, and it is really far away.
We also compare the distance between the Sun and some other planets, remember? When we built this model of the solar system, I think it was quite obvious, right? Now, as I told you, try to highlight only the main ideas. What do you think is more important to know? Now, if you have listened to both of the audios, we are ready to move forward on page 153. We have some sentences to complete using the words from the word bank over here, okay? So we have the words orbit, Milky Way, arc, gravity, and sun. And you have, when you kick a football, it travels in N, and then you have to answer in an arc, in an orbit, in a Milky Way. I don't think so. So number 2, the Earth travels in N around the Sun. The solar system consists of the and all the objects that orbit it. The is the galaxy that contains our solar system. And finally, what is something that affects the shape of galaxies and the solar system? If you are not sure about the answers, go back to the text and try to find them. If you didn't highlight those ideas, please do it now because these are really important ideas, main ideas. And finally, you have some other questions. The first one, explain why the planets orbit the Sun. Why are the planets around the Sun and orbiting around it, as I did on my beautiful drawing? Okay? And the next one, do spaceships travel in straight lines in outer space? Explain. I think I just explained you that at the beginning of this lesson, so you can answer that perfectly. Number 3, if the Earth were the size of this letter E, how big would the Sun be? On the previous page at the end, we were talking about the size of the Earth and the Sun, right? So you can always go back on the previous page. Now, how far away would the Sun be? Using the same explanation. Now, there is a last exercise over here that says, what is one question you still have about outer space? Use the internet to find the answer to your question. Now, Talking about the solar system is about talking about a lot of things. And of course, there are a lot of things that we still don't know about it. So think about something you would like to know about our solar system, about our galaxy, about our planet, about the outer space in general. So if you have a question in mind, write it down over here on this same page over here, okay? And do some research and find the answer, okay? In a really brief paragraph, you can write it over here, or if you don't have enough space, you can do it on your worksheets. Ready? Time to work. I'll give the next instructions on the following video.